Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a quick look at Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Siege Voyager Class Apeface. And Apeface really surprised me in coming out in this line. He is very much classic Apeface with the triple changing and the headmaster gimmick and everything, which I really thought we'd be getting an Apeface in the Titans Return line just because the Voyagers there were all triple changers anyway. When he didn't come out in Titans Return, I kind of figured we weren't going to get one for a while. But they did it, and I am pretty happy with the figure. Excited probably more so to see hopefully Snapdragon come out soon. But yeah, Apeface in his jet mode looks terrific. If you want to have a quick comparison to the card art, I think Apeface does a great job as a toy and a card to really take that G1 look and update it. My only real complaint here, it's not even that he's not that aerodynamic. I don't expect a flying gorilla to be that aerodynamic. It's really just this battle damage up on his nose cone. Against this magenta, I really don't like the way that looks. I'm going to see what I can do to take that off. I don't think it'll be that too much trouble because I think this is a plastic color. So if Toy Hacks doesn't have a fix for this, I'll probably end up taking it off myself. But yeah, he looks fine. The cockpit is a faux cockpit because in reality, our Titanmaster buddy hides back here, which I'm not sure if he has a name. I'm sure I could have looked it up on the box art, but I don't care all that much. But yeah, we've got a little Titanmaster man right here. And the interesting thing about him is he does have two heads. This side is the gorilla eyes, and then where his legs are is the actual robot mode head, which I thought was an interesting deviation from the regular Titanmaster gimmick, where this plate would be their robot mode head. But yeah, that comes right off. And since we've got him out, we can go ahead and start transforming Apeface. The first thing we're going to do is pull off this gun. We're going into gorilla mode. We're going to put our thumbs down on the front of the plane and separate out the cockpit from two holes that sit right here, those two pegs. We can flip those out and away. Then we can come in and extend out our little gorilla feet. Get those up and out of the way. The transformation really is not that complicated. From here, I like to go from plane to jet mode specifically because of the way his head will work. We're going to lift, let me adjust this camera up. We're going to lift this tab here, which pulls out the bottom of his face essentially. And his chest has two tabs here, as well as you can see on this piece, there's a C-clip here and a place for that C-clip to lock in here. It's a little tough to get everything locked together at the same time. His torso really does want to come apart until things are locked in. But you're essentially just trying to press down on that C-clip, get that engaged, and then before things slip too much in his chest, we're hoping to get, on this side, we can see that the tab is engaged around a slot in his, I guess that's his like lower throat collarbone area. There we go. And with those engaged, we can come in and make sure that the lower torso is clipped in. We can fold his wings back and extend out these arms. Yep, and that's kind of what I want to avoid. And that's probably my biggest complaint of the figure is just how easily that torso comes undone. If you have just one piece not tabbed in properly, it doesn't hold the tension it needs to, and it's really easy to unengage things. So let's come to the back here and see where things went wrong. We need to slip this tab right here underneath the back of Apeface's gorilla mode while engaging this tab here. And that, there, I felt it suck in. Now everything's in place. And we've got our gorilla with the top of his head gone. But that's where our Titanmaster comes in. Curl him. And again, like I said, the gorilla eyes slide in right here. And this piece on his jet mode can lock in just back here, and we can, if we want to, give him a shoulder gun. And there is Apeface in his gorilla mode. And again, we can do a quick comparison here. The card art did a great job, I think, of capturing the way the toy looks. Apeface, you know, is a very Cybertronian gorilla. I'm really happy with this. He looks like this weird... He looks like a Zord, or a Zoid almost. I forget what the gorilla Zoid was, like King Khan or something. But he looks like that. Like, he's very mechanical. He's clearly not trying to be a realistic animal design. But that's very endearing to me. In terms of articulation, now that he is in a beast mode, as you saw, the head can move around kind of wherever you want it to be. That actually sinks in a lot further. There we go. His arm can go 360. You got to kind of watch out for that wing piece. But the shoulder can go 360. It has in and out rotation. His elbow, unfortunately, in gorilla mode only extends that far. I think I kind of wish that cut was deeper. His wrist does go out, so he can kind of get that gorilla walking pose, and then his fists do curl around. If you want to get some, you know, monkey hanging, climbing arms, you can absolutely do that. His legs, they go 360 up until they start bumping into his torso, and they go back up until they start bumping into the wings. So the joint itself is not limited, but the clearances limit things. And we've got little teeny tiny gorilla knees and toes, knees and toes. Yeah, he, again, like, this is basically just the G1 toy updated. Looks like a menacing, evil gorilla. I like that. Nothing really to complain about here. I like the way his shoulders, his arms bring out some color and some painted. I really appreciate the painted mechanical detail here. But yeah, that is Apeface. That is his ape mode. We're going to go ahead and get him transformed now into his robot mode. Take his gun off. Take his Titanmaster buddy out. Leave it the way it is, because it's going to come right back in later. Now, to get him transformed again, we're going to start with his legs. We'll disengage our ape head, pull out until that C-clip disengages. There we go. Get that chest shield back thing out of the way. Get things folded in and out of our way. Twist our head around. There we go. That is secured and put away. We come in and we're going to disengage in a couple places. First, we're going to lift up these purple pectorals on his gorilla mode. Get those out of the way. We can lift those out of the way. And we can come in and separate out his chest, which is going to form his robot legs. These can extend out and up. Oh, actually, I forgot one step. Flip out his back. Those pivot 90 degrees out and away. And now we've got clearance to extend out these legs on these double joints. With those extended, we can flip his knee joint and construct it, turn it 90 degrees. It seats in real nice. And we're going to come back, fold up his gorilla arm back in that socket, and fold everything in behind him. And that's basically a leg constructed. It holds together real nice. It's nice and beefy, like surprisingly big stompy boots for Apeface's robot mode. Same thing on this side. Construct that knee joint by flipping it 90 degrees and collapsing the bar. Bring his gorilla arm in and close things up. And yeah, look at that. He changes his silhouette a lot, which I really, really like. Then his wings can fold up behind him, like so. Get those out of the way. Then we can come in. His feet actually tab into his wings. Back here, if you can see, there's a tab on this heel piece, which can collapse into a slot on the wing. Same thing on this side, building his shoulders. And giving like this chest piece a pretty secure connection. So now we can disengage his robot arms And these can spin independently of his ape hips, which I like a lot. Fold out his wrists, and there we've got kind of our Apeface Transtector. All we got to do now is plug in our head up top, which we're going to raise things just a little bit again. Plug in our head up top, giving him a great robot sculpt. Like, for a head sculpt on a Decepticon, that is kind of all I need. Give him his gun, and give him a shield. And there is Robot Mode Apeface. Again, he looks really good. Oh, that disengaged. Not a big deal. It does sometimes. That's another one of my minor nitpicks. My bigger complaint is the way his chest tabbed together in Gorilla Mode. But these untabbing, it's a sign that I think they try to push this price point a little too hard. He looks great if we compare him again to his art. Like, that's great, and this guy looks great. My real complaint is just how much they try to do with him. I appreciate, but not everything tabs together super securely. Again, we've got that battle damage on that pink plastic. I don't think that looks great in terms of articulation. The head can go side to side. It can, rotate around on his Titanmaster joint. His shoulder has a 360. It can go in and out 90. His bicep goes 90, but you can kind of fake some extra articulation depending on how you extend out that double elbow. Unfortunately, it doesn't bend the right way to give him a true double elbow. His wrist doesn't really do anything. It just goes in and out due to transformation. He can do the full splits, and he can go entirely 90 degrees forward and less than 90 back, but his knee articulation is 90, nice and deep for all the mass that is in his foot, as well as giving him some ankle tilt and some toe articulation. So he is nicely articulated. For the Voyager price point, I think what they just try to do is, in order to get him to do everything as a triple changer, they just stretch things a little too thin. He feels, like I said, he's nice and chunky for a toy, but there are certain times just in different modes where the plastic feels a little thin just because of how panels had to construct themselves into a solid body. Other than that, though, I think Apeface is a ton of fun. He's a Decepticon that I don't imagine us getting again anytime soon, so he's an easy recommendation. Just, again, if the toy needs to feel super, super solid for you to get any enjoyment out of it, you probably won't get it out of him because he does have his hinky bits. But other than that, he's a great toy. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, everyone, and glad you enjoyed the review. Have a great day.